right here from the offices of Reborn Wrestling. This is a special edition of the Exotic View. I am your host, Exotica, and I'm going to take a special look at the Cold War. Saturday night, January 4th, Reborn Wrestling presents the Cold War at the Trinity Assembly of God in Johnson City, Tennessee. We already know the main event. Hotstuff Anthony Brody defends the Reborn Wrestling Championship against the Stallion with Harry Jameson, my good personal close friend. And I'll get back to Harry Jameson in just a moment. This time it's a bull rope match. After just a couple of weeks ago at Wreck the Halls, Anthony Brody successfully defended the Reborn Wrestling Championship, defeating superstar Scott Douglas. But later in the night, when the Stallion had the straight jacket on, Markie picked up the victory. Anthony Brody made his move. He made himself disqualified the previous match, kept the title. This time the Stallion's got maybe a fair shot, maybe not, because if you saw the end of Wreck the Halls, Anthony Brody had, my good personal friend Harry Jameson, hung over the top rope. And I believe that same thing may just happen to the Stallion. Saturday night, January 4th. You may also know the finals of the Reborn Wrestling Pure Wrestling Cup. To crown the first cup holder, we'll see Rain Rodriguez meet Channing Drake with the very lovely Brooklynn. Both guys have 1 point in the tournament so far. 2 guys have been eliminated from the tournament. The final 2, the final point, and 1 Reborn Wrestling Pure Wrestling Cup holder. What you may not know is one match that has been in and out of the offices of the headquarters right here at Reborn Wrestling. For the Reborn Wrestling Tag Team Championship, Team Telly, Raymond Telly's team of Oleg and JC Romanoff, uncle and nephew, one from Siberia, one from the United States, in, I guess, accepting his Siberian roots, defending the Reborn Wrestling Tag Team Championship, and they will at the Cold War. However, the match that has been attempted to be signed many times over by Reborn Wrestling majority owner Buck Cole, we're talking about Austin Cox and Adam Knight after Cox picked up a tremendous upset victory over Oleg Romanoff at Wreck the Halls to get a shot at the Reborn Wrestling Tag Team Championship. However, Raymond Telly has refused to sign that match and, in fact, has proclaimed to all within earshot that Team Telly will defend the Reborn Wrestling Tag Team Championship at the Cold War, but it will not be against Austin Cox and Adam Knight. The only way to find out, be there at the Trinity Assembly of God in Johnson City, Saturday night, January 4th, at the Cold War. However, we will also see at the Cold War, my man superstar Scott Douglas will meet his former tag team partner Chris Graves. This is one that has been building for months. Former tag team partners, they finally come back into Reborn Wrestling individually with individual goals. However, we've seen Chris Graves as part of Team Telly wearing the Reborn Wrestling Tag Team Championship, defending the Reborn Wrestling Tag Team Championship, and now Douglas and Graves will meet one-on-one. And to be perfectly honest, my exotic view, I think this match is unnecessary, and just perhaps I might let those guys, I might talk to those guys and let those guys know my feelings on just why those 2 guys are facing one-on-one, because those 2 guys believe what I used to believe, and I'll get back to that in just a moment. It's Saturday night, January 4th, the Trinity Assembly of God, when Reborn Wrestling in Johnson City, Tennessee presents the Cold War. Also, some exclusive news. A 6-man tag team matchup has been signed. On one side, handsome James Manson, John Kane, and Dax Cable on the other. 3 monsters, Markie, Goliath Hayes, and Enigma. No one knows about this guy, but we'll find out more. Saturday night, January 4th, at the Cold War.
The Cold War is coming. January 4th. 2014, as Reborn Wrestling presents the Cold War at Trinity Assembly of God in Johnson City, Tennessee. Doors open 5:30 p.m. Bell time, 6 p.m. Which feuds will end? Which feuds will be gained? Which feuds will end in a standoff? Make sure you come January 4th, 2014, as Reborn Wrestling presents The Cold War.
And Exotica will have a message for Harry Jameson. If you were there at Rick the Halls, maybe you saw me lose my temper just a little bit. In fact, I believe there were members of the crowd that lost their temper right along with me. And perhaps it's they know what I've known. And that is that friendship just does not exist. Not in this business, not in professional wrestling, not in life. If you have a friend you can count on, don't turn your back. Harry Jameson got his butt kicked by Markie Mark. Some friend, right? Some friend. Well, with friends like that, who needs enemies? And so, Harry Jameson, I promised you, after I've spent the last couple of months in Louisiana, I met a man who showed me what I'd been missing in my life, who showed me that I've refused to enjoy myself because I was hung up on things like friendship. And that man is Voodoo LaCroix. Voodoo LaCroix, Harry Jameson, will be at the Cold War. That's it for the Exotic View this time. We will see you Saturday night, January 4th, the Trinity Assembly of God. 6 p.m. in Johnson City for the Cold War.